My name is Kelly Parker, and I'm the medical director at PAWS New England. I'm here to share a very special story on this Giving Tuesday 2021. Every year around this time, the team at PAWS thinks long and hard about what we want to convey in our Giving Tuesday campaign. Do we want to focus on a second chance story? Do we want to highlight our inspirational volunteers? Or celebrate you, our supporters, who are the soul of this organization? Or do we want to talk about the seemingly impossible mechanics of how this organization works? An organization that pays upwards of nearly $1 million a year in animal expenses and still has no paid volunteers. Well, this year the story found us. We know it has been an exceptionally challenging 20 months for every single one of us. We crave a story that has a happy ending, something that inspires us to hope. And that's why we're so excited to share Macy's story with you. Her strength and her hard-fought miracle of survival has rejuvenated all of us at PAWS. And the best way we know how to give back to our supporters is to have you all walk alongside us as Macy recovers and share in that inspiration, share in that hope, and share in that joy. We hope you will donate to our organization on this International Day of Giving. God, I hope you'll donate. We are currently $7,000 in to Macy's veterinary expenses, and we have a very long and costly road ahead of us. But if you can't donate, I hope you'll use her story as a reminder that happy endings are still happening. Helpers are still abound and working around the clock against all odds to make these miracles happen. Take some joy this Giving Tuesday, and thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your incredible support.
I'm Joanne Hutchinson. I'm one of the co-founders of PAWS New England. I'm also the operations manager. So basically I'm the one every day that gets all the emails about all the dogs that are needing help. The thing about Macy is I saw her picture on Facebook, and at the same time I was getting a text from the shelter, because we're one of the first people they will text when they have a really dire case. When I first saw her, my first inclination was to say yes, of course. But unfortunately, it's been a long year. We've had a lot of medical cases, a lot of surgical cases. The shelter calls us a lot. I have a hard time saying no. We all have a hard time saying no. And so I had to think about it. And it weighed on me that I had to think about whether we could help this girl, because I wasn't sure if another rescue would, or if they would just decide to euthanize her. And I couldn't do that. And thanks to the advocacy of All Force Rescue and the police that were on site, and the animal control officer that finally went to get her, who brought her to the shelter. That's the reason we were able to give her the care that she needed.
All of the board members at PAWS got on an emergency call to try and decide what to do. Obviously, every one of us knew that we didn't have nearly enough money to take on this case. We were already digging out from so many other medical cases. But how do you say no to a dog like this? How do you possibly let her story end this way and not give her a chance? I think what probably no one realizes from this case is how improbable it is that Macy ever walked out of that ICU. We transferred her immediately to Memphis veterinary specialists. And when they did their initial assessment, they gave her less than a 1% chance of survival. Every single one of us was crushed when we got that news. We struggled with whether or not we were being cruel by keeping her alive. But we knew dogs live in the moment, and we knew if we could give her even just a few moments of happiness inside a house with a full belly, warm and loved, then it would be worth it. So we asked the team at Memphis Veterinary Specialists to pry her out of the jaws of death and to do everything they possibly could to just get her out of the hospital and into foster care. All of us went to bed that night, assuming we would wake up to the news that she had passed. but she didn't. And by the next morning, we started to see some mildly hopeful news in her labs, in her vital signs, and in her overall demeanor. For the next 6 days, we bit our fingernails, thinking she could pass at any moment. But Macy demonstrated some of the most extraordinary resilience we have ever seen in our 15 years of doing this work. She fought back and clawed back, and to the absolute delight of all of us at Paws, everybody who was closely following her story, and to the extraordinary team at Memphis Veterinary Specialists, Macy walked out of the hospital and into the arms of our most trained, specialized, and experienced medical foster homes. Macy went from spending likely her entire life chained in a small doghouse, not having access to food and water, to getting to fly in a private plane with our team members from Pilots and Paws, who carefully and selflessly brought Macy to the foster home, where we look forward to spending however long it takes to get this beautiful girl back on her feet.
Say welcome, Macy. What do you think? What do you think of Ann Arbor? What did you think about going in the plane?
Macy just came to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and she's just a little shy.
She's a little bit shy. And how does she look? Does she look like she might need somebody to take really good care of her?
Yeah, and she looks pretty cold.
She looked pretty cold. What can we do for her?
Bring her in the house and keep her nice and warm and give her a little blanket.
I love this idea. And lots of food?
Yeah,
Okay, and be very kind to her?
yeah.
I like this plan. All right, do you tell her we're on our way?
But not always.
Yay!
Yay.
See, Macy just sat down thinking that this is where she was going to sleep. Sweetheart, that's not where we sleep anymore. No, no. See, we're going inside. We have an orthopedic mattress for you.
There was a very nice moment. And then a really sick dog named Macy. She had so many bruises that she found us after a vet. So she bring her to the vet and it fixed up all her bruises. The end. Now your turn, Colin. After when I finish this, I'm going to tell not a bad costume, not a smart costume. Okay, otherwise it could scare her or not be nice.
Macy wasn't eating as well this morning, and I figured out I think she had some trouble sensing what's in the bowl. So feeding her with a spoon seems to work a lot better.
This so far has been the hardest part about taking care of Macy. It's doing the soap, mostly because it is really hard. Excuse you, Macy. To feel just true skin and bones. So interesting. So we have not been able to get Macy to eat anything or drink anything, and have been trying to load her food with extra water. And she has not stopped drinking since she got in the shower. I wonder if she was just used to getting all of her water from the rain supply and had no idea what we were trying to do when we were giving her water in a bowl.
Bingo! A little rain, a little elevated doggy bowl, and she figured it out. Good girl, Macy.
Beautiful. You are beautiful.
And Colin, you're beautiful too.
Thank you.
And Macy, and you are beautiful too, Macy.
I love you. I didn't know that you had that book. said he needs to for her because he likes both of them.
Mm-hmm. What's Macy doing today?
Laying down with me
Yeah.
and having a good time.
She looks pretty comfy.
Yeah. And it looks like she's in her bed.
Yeah.
She got a lot of boo-boos.
You think she's gonna get better, Christine?
Yeah.
Good morning. Who came today? Yeah. Is she gonna take care of Macy?
Yeah.
Is she gonna do an amazing job?
Yeah.
Are you excited?